as a leader or as an adult for young men is the maturation process of these young men. And it's not where, when you see these men grow into the men that you know and hope that they would be, it's not where they end up, but it's the journey of where they start to actually where they end up at. And that was the greatest thing that I saw with Mikhail. I saw a man who was an unbelievable athlete, but grow into the leader that I knew he would be. And we had countless conversations about leadership, about body language, about how to act and how to deal with adversity. And I saw this person grow in that aspect of the player that I wanted to coach and the player that I knew he could be. Being a part of the very first team that made the playoffs here at Alpharetta High School, you're always excited about being a part of something special, especially something that's bigger than who you are. But I have to say that I was probably as proud for this football team as I was probably more proud for Mikhail, because I knew that in the 3 years he had been a part of varsity, he had been through some adversity, some unexpected things taking place, some injuries and things like that, and for him to achieve this as the quarterback, as more or less the leader of the offense, was a big deal to him, and was a big deal for me to see that and to be a part of that. So it is my honor and my privilege to give him the 2010 Offensive Player of the Year.
First of all, I would like to thank all the coaches. Even when I kind of, was a pain in the butt, they still supported me. They still helped me through the season. And most of all, I would like to thank offensive line. You guys are good for taking this year. We couldn't do anything without you guys. Class, receivers, running backs. Couldn't make any plays without you guys. You guys caught the ball. Mike, Kwame, all those long runs on those option plays. Thanks. And everybody, all the underclassmen, especially Derek. After I would, throw an interception or something, Derek was always the first person on the sidelines who would lift my spirits. Thank you.
Jeff Carver.
Be a part of it, watch these guys grow, and know that, particularly the senior group, having won 5 games total in their sophomore and junior years, to do what we did this year and win 6 and qualify for the playoffs. And really, I think if we had particularly 2 games to do over, we'd probably won 8 or more this year. But just these guys have given us an incredible run. I want to thank them for that. They've been a blessing in my life. They've been a great joy to coach, particularly you guys on the defensive side of the ball that I work with hand to hand every day, and more significantly the linebackers, which I coach. I know y'all probably get tired of listening to me rant and rave and go through some of my gyrations, but I hope that you all enjoy this as much as I have. A couple of thank yous. Also, obviously to Coach Dukes, for all he's done for us in this program. He's a great leader. He's a great leader of young men. He does a wonderful job letting us coaches do our work with the kids. And he doesn't call either side of the ball, and sometimes people get that confused with a lack of leadership. But trust me, there's no doubt who's our leader and who does all the things that we need to be successful, and Jason just does a great job, and I've been blessed to be around the head coaches. For the other coaches on the staff, you guys have been a great joy to work with. We've got great camaraderie, and I think that's a lot of what makes the experience positive for both coaches and the players, because if you don't have that, the kids see right through it, and the guys that I work with every day are just wonderful people, they're good leaders, and they're good people that you want your children around. And if I don't say this, I may not get to sleep at my house tonight. But I want to thank my wife. She's a true coach's wife. I would ask her to stand up, but I think my youngest is asleep in her lap. And she does all the things that coaches' wives have to do. She sacrifices. She's I tease her all the time about I think she got the better end of the deal in the marriage because I get all these great things. She gave me kids and all that, but I get her in free every Friday night to the football game. But thank you, honey. I love you. All right, on to the award. This young man is an outstanding player. Obviously, we wouldn't be giving him the Defensive MVP award. He's truly, I hate to say most valuable, but if we have one, it would be him. It takes 11 out there to be successful. I tease Coach Woodfin all the time. If y'all go out there and screw up 3 plays in a row, y'all get the punt. If we go out there and screw up 3 times in a row, the band director on the other team gets to play songs 3 times in a row. So it takes all 11 out there on the field to be successful. But the guy that we named our defensive MVP this year was very important to us in our secondary. He led us in tackles back there, and he made one of the most incredible plays in the second, at the end of the first half against Roswell. And he picked that ball off, took it to the house, and we got a bad call that brought it back. And I think a couple of us coaches were very kind to remind the referees that was not a very good call. But Greg Jester is our defensive MVP.
Coach Carl, let's start. The first time that I met Coach Carlberg was this summer, and I heard that we were getting 2 new coaches, and let's face it, I was pretty used to that. So I was just excited to play for a coach that's been so successful at another school. But I remember one of the first days of practice, we picked a ball off. We're playing 7-on-7. We always pick balls off in that because we kick the butt every day. But I remember, I think it was Harrison. Somebody picked the ball off, and I ran behind him and started yelling lateral. And Coach Carver didn't like that too much. Pulled me off to the side and talked to me and was just telling me how I should have enough fun playing football, that I would need to add some comedy to the 7-on-7 routine, and I agreed with that. But the moment I knew Coach Carberg was just going to stand up for us players on defense, and as a coach, he takes all the blame when we do bad, and he gives us all the credit when we do good. And I just love that in a coach. I remember in 7-on-7 at Hoover, I forget if it was a bad call or not, but he really stepped in and defended us, and I don't know, I just love that in a coach. And I just want to say thanks to all the players, because you guys literally, this year is just amazing. Not just because of our record, but I've never been closer to a group of guys than you guys, and I love you all.
We love you too, Greg!
I'm now going to present the awards for most improved. These are very important awards to me because football is not one of those sports that you just all of a sudden when you first start doing it, you're great. It just doesn't happen like that. Everybody comes in and you're usually not very good players, but then the more they practice and work hard and better themselves, they get better and better and better. This young man was a player who we saw last year, and we saw that he had the potential to be a really good football player. we didn't know from a size standpoint if he was going to be big enough, or from a speed standpoint whether he was going to be fast enough, or from playing interior, he was going to be able to take on guards and centers, trying to block him. But he proved us wrong. He dedicated himself in the weight room, and he ended up being basically, our leader of our front seven. And to see his improvement from the beginning of this year to the end of this year has been absolutely amazing. And what this means is next year he's got to get even better. The 2010 Most Improved Defensive Player is Mike Wagner. This next young man for the Most Improved Offensive Player, I've already kind of spoken about him. He's improved tremendously. Went from a player who, like I said, quit to being now a player. He was a starter for us. He was probably our player that we used to stretch the field. When we threw the ball to him, he caught it. He was probably our best blocker on the perimeter as our receiver. I wish we had him for another year, because I know with the level of the progression of his improvement, if we had him for another year, he'd be a phenomenal player. The Most Improved Offensive Player for 2010 is Paris Holmes.
I quit last year because I love it so much that I couldn't. I'm just gonna take the pain of being a bench warmer. I'm sorry, that's the truth. Because I spent the first 5 years of my life on the sidelines watching all of my teammates play. And it meant a lot to me this last year to come out here and be able to participate and help us get to the playoffs. And everything I tried, and I blocked when Kim when I saw him running. I blocked for Carlos and they put on the outside. They didn't catch the ball instead of me, but it's all good. And I just want to say, I love y'all, and God bless y'all.
All right, the next award is the 2010 Coaches Award, Defense. This is an award that's presented. It's voted on by the coaches for that player who they might not be the defensive MVP, but they're the player who is consistent and goes about their work in a yeoman type manner. This player had some phenomenal football games. There was one play, he had 11 tackles in the game. He blocked a punt. He recovered the punt that he blocked. He had a sack in the game, I believe. He just was all over the field. But then he also had games where, he was just consistent. And the amazing thing about this player is that, he's as quiet as he is. I mean, you won't even know he's there, but he just goes about his business in such a professional manner. The great thing is we're going to have him in our program for some time to come. And, I appreciate his work ethic and can't wait to see the player that he develops into. The 2010 Defensive Coaches Award goes to Corey Wade, Alexander.